That's why it's doing it.
Okay, even better. So here's I
So
don't know.
I'm Batch. I'm a business coach. And you are Gonzalo, and
Mhm.
you're the teacher becoming a
An employment
HR consultant, helping people find their dream job. Is that right?
That's it. That's what I want to do.
You're doing it already?
I'm starting to venture. I've done a lot over the course of the last few years for free, but now I want to start monetizing and building my network or my resources, but I just don't know how to get out there and get clients, and build my audience. So
Okay. So where'd you get the free ones from?
just people always came up to me, asked me, how do I do, how do I become a teacher? How do I become an administrator?
Where were you when they asked you?
Typically, I was at either conferences that I would be attending, and then either word of mouth.
So in-person live events, word of mouth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so let me make a small list for you. I'd say in-person, word of mouth, live events, online. Same thing.
Okay.
Just what you need by the sound of it. So you have been a massively valuable contributor to society by being a teacher, and you've been educating kids, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that role, just go to the place where you do it, and they just walk in the gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do any selling,
Right?
And so, how do you feel? Have you done any selling in your life? Have you ever sold anything before this?
No.
Okay. Have you ever sold anything on eBay personally?
No. The only thing I've sold is really like ideas, right?
So, what ideas have you sold?
Like when we buy a program, if we're instituting a program within whatever district I work at, I have to sell the idea or the initiative.
Oh, yeah, okay. So selling the idea of doing a thing inside your job.
Right.
In the past.
That's correct.
Okay. What are the most important skills in sales? I'm just going to, forgive me, but if you'd like me to coach you just from where I see you in a certain place and you want to get to a certain place, you've expressed that. But what you've said is, I'm over here, I've been doing some stuff for free, I have a desire to be over there, and I'm not quite sure how to connect the dots.
That's correct.
Okay. So would you, not trying to sell you anything, you're not my customer, it'd be really, you're not my target audience. No disrespect, right? So, but would you like to spend a couple of minutes and me to see if I can unlock a couple of things for you?
Oh, I will love it, because I feel like I'm spinning my wheels.
Okay. So tell me what you've done so far. There are no dumb questions. There is no stupid. Don't be completely transparent with me. I'll be completely transparent with you. I can't help you if you're not honest with me. And whatever we say here, we just keep to ourselves, unless you want to share it. But so you stopped being a teacher how long ago?
I stopped being a teacher many years ago, but I still work for the educational institutions.
Oh, okay.
So I've been a principal and I've been a director. Now I'm a consultant for the state of California, and I also teach at the university to aspiring teachers.
So what are you teaching them?
I'm teaching how to become a teacher, like the master's program, credential programs, curriculum instruction, assessment.
Okay. What's your who's your target audience?
Well, at first I was thinking like anyone that wanted a job, but if they don't have a job, then they might not be able to afford me. So then I was thinking, well, if they're recent college graduates, but they might not be able to afford me either. So maybe it's the parents of recent college graduates.
Trying to figure out what the first steps are for their journey.
Right. So those are.
You're thinking first jobs?
Say again?
So let's brainstorm. Okay, let's brainstorm
Okay,
the possible universes of who might buy this service, and
Okay.
put aside for a moment who could afford it.
okay, got it.
So who's got the most need? Well, you just said graduates.
Mhm.
They want to get a job and what's so they've been studying, biology or something, science, and they come out and they're like, what am I going to do with that now?
Right,
Or they're still at uni and they're trying to we call uni, you call college. They're studying along and thinking, well, I'm doing this physics paper, but I'm really not sure what I'm going to do afterwards. Am I going to be a teacher? Am I going to try and be an engineer, or that kind of stuff, right? So that's one group of people. So
Mhm.
we're talking about college educated, under 25.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. In college, or is it correct to say that the hottest, when's the hottest time?
The hottest, well, it's like once they get
For
their
them.
BM,
Huh?
it's like June, July, August.
That was a weather question, right? So that's the answer to the weather question. My question was, when are college graduates or college students hottest looking for this service?
Right before they're graduating from college.
When do they do that?
Typically, around April, May, June.
And in the American setup, is that one semester in January, February, March, or is it two to get to June?
It's 2 semesters per year. So from this January through June, it's the last semester.
Okay, just 1 second. Someone's asking me to confirm something for next week, which I'll just let me just 2 secs. Look at my calendar. I'm still looking at you, but I'm actually looking at my calendar. When do you want to do it? Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is, I need to set up my fucking calendar link so I don't have to even do this. Next Wednesday at 10 is fine. Dave Perkins, move him to 10. Come on, Dave, move him the calendar. Done. Oops, send update. Where'd it go? Come on. Send update. Okay. Someone I've been trying to get a meeting with for ages. Agreed and meeting invite sent. Okay. ABS, always be selling. You'll like this. A slight segue. So, you just gotta get out there and you just gotta pound the phones. And I'm the wolf of Wall Street, and I don't give a fuck whether they can afford it. Just fucking hammer them and dialing them off the phone until you close a deal. Fucking get on it. Who wants a watch? Right? That shit doesn't work anymore. Seriously doesn't. Maybe, but not really. And the cold call, high pressure. Let me try this on you, Gonzalo. This is just kind of like tips and stuff. Sometimes things just come to mind and I share them. But you'll find this helpful, I think. So imagine I'm calling you, and you're a about to graduate person, and I walk up to you, but I do it as a phone call. In this case, so I saw your name on a notice board in the student hall, and I figured out you're about to graduate. So I'm Gonzalo, and I ring up your mobile and I say, "Is that Gonzalo? It's Andrew Batchelor calling. Is that Gonzalo?"
Yes, it is.
Yes. Gonzalo, do you go to the San Diego University?
Oh, yes, I do.
And are you living in a house?
Yes, I live with my parents.
And do you breathe air?
Yes, I do.
Buy my book. So those calls come in at night, they used to, you know, a lot of them auto dialed and stuff, and the terrible Indian and Southeast Asian crooks, you know, dialing up and saying your security's run out or your visa's got charges on it. I just had one the other day where they rang me and said, oh, you know, you're just calling from Visa. It was an automatic message. 2 charges on your account, naming a New Zealand department store and Apple, and one's 900, one's 800. It's all recorded. We put that on hold because it doesn't look like you're spending. Press 1 if you want to cancel those charges. Right. See, so I know it's a scam. So I press 1, and then I go through to the call center, and I can hear it's a noisy call center. You know, he says, "Oh, it's hi, it's," and he says, "Hello, it's Andrew here," sort of thing. And I'm not racist at all, but that's just where these people are. And he says, "Oh, we've got a visa, and we're seeing these charges, and would you like me to stop them?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What's your bank account number?" I think I'm talking Russian now. Anyway, I'm in Russia. He says, "What's your bank account number?" I said, "You're from Visa. You know my bank account number." Click, click, because I'm not a dumb granny.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll find my account book.
Right.
Anyway, so compare that to the phone call to ring, ring. Just say hello to start the call.
Hello.
Hi, Gonzalo. It's Andrew Batchelor calling from Find Your Dream Job. Is this a bad time to talk?
No, I have a few minutes.
The reason I'm calling is we help you guys get that benefit. How are you feeling about, if you don't mind me asking, I imagine someone like you has found the exact dream job already. Is that correct?
No, I'm still looking.
Oh, I imagine that you're probably feel really confident that you're just going to get that job because you're graduating probably within a month or so. You feel I imagine because you're a graduate, confidence must be high. Is that right?
No, it's not. I'm just kind of worried.
Oh, okay. And what's your sort of situation like? What's going to happen if you? I mean, student loans. I feel for you. When I did university, student loans weren't really a thing as much as it's got more and more expensive. So that's, like, you know, you don't have to tell me, but you've probably got a student loan, I imagine, yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going out into the world, and that's an exciting time. What happens if you don't find your dream job?
Well, I'll have to keep on trying. If not, then I might have to settle.
You might have to settle. Oh, what do you imagine that might entail?
Well, any job that I could find.
Such as?
Fast food, retail.
Have you been working sort of part-time doing stuff like that already?
Well, I've had 1 or 2 jobs that way, but I really didn't like it.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, is working at McDonald's not your dream job then?
No, it's not.
So we're talking in it's the 3rd of April, and I guess you're graduating in June, is that right?
Yeah, June, yeah, in a few months.
Okay. So imagine what would have to happen in the next 90 days. Imagine we're chatting. Imagine we bump into each other in a coffee shop in the next, in the middle of July. What has to happen for you to feel really good about your dream job? What would be the ideal for you?
Yeah, what has to happen is, one, I have to apply for a job and make it past the paper screening, and then I have to make it past the interviews.
Okay, it sounds like you've already exactly decided the job you want.
Right.
Probably some will say yes, and some will say no. That's okay. It's okay. So yes. Oh, great. What is it?
I
What's
would
your
like to
dream job?
be, I would like to be a teacher.
Oh, you'd like to be a teacher. I forget I don't remember the names of your things, but elementary or seniors, or
At this
what
point, it
type of
doesn't really
teacher?
matter. A teacher would be fine. I
Do
just,
they
you
all
know,
get paid the same,
yeah,
or
yeah, they pretty much all pay the same. But
and a teacher? Sorry, go on. I'm interrupting. Go
yeah, I
on.
just want to get my foot in the door.
Oh, okay, cool. So, what would you teach?
I would probably be teaching anywhere between kindergarten through maybe sixth grade.
Like, oh, okay. So that's a general teaching, right?
Yeah,
That as opposed to a specialist subject.
right.
Okay, cool. And why would that be important to you?
Well, I've always wanted to be a teacher, one, and then also I have to pay off my loan. So,
So
and
there's
that's, yeah,
there's the money thing, but it sounds like why have you always wanted to be a teacher?
that's something that I have always wanted to, I've always admired my teachers, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. So,
Okay, and in any so you're graduating from the University of San Diego. Whereabouts do you want to be a teacher, in San Diego or?
yeah, I want to teach close by where I currently live. So maybe within 20 to 30 miles away. That's would be my radius. So yeah,
How
around
many,
San Diego area.
how many schools do you know how many schools there are
Oh,
within 20 miles?
there's a lot. It's a big district, so there's 4 or 5 big districts. So
Okay, so I guess it'd be pretty straightforward and easy to get a job then.
no, no.
What do you see as the challenges for you, Gonzalo, to get a
Uh,
job? And given there's so many schools and given that you're graduating,
yeah, I think
what's the challenges you're going to have to overcome? You mentioned paper screening, and
yeah,
what do you think
the
about that?
challenge, yeah, the challenge is that I would have to be selected. So for every position there might be 20 or 30 people applying for the
Wow.
position. So I have to make it past the paper screening and really do well in the interviews so I can be selected.
Okay, so I imagine that you've got a lot of experience in going through paper screening for being a teacher.
No, these are just things that people have told me.
Have you applied for any job so far?
Not as a teacher because I haven't graduated yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, do you know anyone that is a teacher that has gone through the paper screening?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how did they find that?
They found it scary, nerve-wracking, intimidating,
Mm,
stressful.
mm, okay. Is that how you're feeling?
Right now, yes.
Okay. Because I'm a pretty nice person. You shouldn't feel stressed out talking to me. um, okay, well, I'm admiring where you're coming from. And being a teacher is one of the most, I imagine it's one of the most rewarding things. I do coaching and I enjoy helping people grow and get to the next level. And so teaching kids, it's a very fundamentally important, formative thing in people's lives. That's cool. Anyone in your family a teacher?
No, no.
So you'd be the first teacher in
I
your
would
family?
be the first.
That's kind of awesome. Okay, so you it seems like, Gonzalo, would it be okay for me if I reflected back a couple of things to you to clarify my understanding?
Yes, it would.
Okay, so you're at the University of San Diego, you want to be a teacher, it's a passion. I'm going fast just to save time. You want to work within 20 miles of your home, which is this geography. There's loads of schools in that geography. You've not ever gone through the paper process. You're worried about, you have all these negative feelings and just about the process and uncertainties. You've had no practice. How many jobs have you interviewed for in your entire life?
Maybe 2 or 3.
And
Yeah,
what were
1,
those
2,
for? They're probably really important jobs,
2.
right?
Yeah, they were just grocery work.
Yeah.
Flipping hamburgers.
This is the potato. Put it in the bag.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So did they have a lot of paper screening in those jobs?
No, I just pretty much walked in, and it was a good time for me to walk in. And I got hired.
So, like, do you want a job? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that how teaching interviews go?
No, not really. It's a more formal process.
And what do you have a good understanding of what the process is What happens behind the
Not,
scenes?
I have an idea based on what I've looked up on the internet,
Okay.
but I've never went through it.
I would imagine that there's stuff about the process and about the decision making that's not on the internet too, right? Some of it would be confidential. Would that be true?
That's true.
So, okay. So far, have I understood your situation? That you want to be a teacher? It's a lifelong passion. You're about to have the qualifications to begin that journey, but you've expressed some key obstacles, being selected as one of 20, and possibly one of 100, getting through a paper process, and ultimately being given a chance. Basically, you're looking to get a chance.
Mhm.
And you described the sort of level of teaching that you're interested in. Okay. So is it what, name the worst school in the San Diego district? The terrible.
Belmont, yeah, Belmont Elementary School.
Okay, so based on the criteria that you've given me, if you got a chance to work at Vermont Elementary School, you'd take that job? That'd be your dream job? Yes or no?
It would be a starter job. I would take the job.
Is it your
because I
dream
do the
job, Gonzalo?
It's yes, it's my dream job, but not my dream school.
Ah, okay. So what's your dream school?
Oh, Sunnyside Elementary School.
And is that in the geography we're talking about?
Oh, yes.
And why would you pick Sunnyside over the other one?
It's a more affluent school, so it has more resources, and the student clientele are different.
Mhm.
So, and it's close to my home, so that would be a good
Okay.
location.
Cool. How many teachers are there in that school, approximately?
There's approximately 25.
Yeah, the student probably wouldn't know, and you'd
Yeah.
say, go do your homework. Okay, 25. Okay, cool. And how many of those are doing the elementary thing that you want to do? All of them?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, they
Oh,
all have the credentials.
that school does that same. Okay.
Mhm.
Right. How many of the teachers, of the 25 teachers, how many were recruited to that school last year? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. How many were recruited to that school the year before?
I don't know.
How many have been in that school 20 years?
I don't know.
But they may have some personal thing or know some anecdote, which would be good. But essentially, they don't understand the market. Okay. All right. So what would be your top? What's the criteria for choosing Sunnyside? It's wealthy, and what else? What were those
It's
criteria?
affluent. Also, it's the
Near your home.
near my home. Yeah,
What else?
and it's based on what I see from the school. It looks clean from the outside.
Okay. Look, so it's presenting as a professional, clean, good environment for kids, that sort of stuff. Do you know any parents of Sunnyside School?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Have you ever talked to a teacher at Sunnyside School?
No, I haven't.
It's too easy. Okay. So, gosh, at this point, are some of my questions possibly opening up your eyes to things that you might think about?
Yeah, I need to do my research.
Yeah. Well, imagine that you're one of the 100. What'll be the thing that'll make the difference? Why choose you? Why would Sunnyside choose you? Sell me on you now.
Yeah.
Give me the 1 minute. Give me one sentence why I should choose you. That's a hard question, I know.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why you should select me for the position at Sunnyside Elementary School is because I have a really strong passion for kids. I have a strong foundation in curriculum and instruction. I've worked with younger kids before in the past, not in a school setting, but with young kids before. I've tutored some of my siblings, and I'm very patient and understanding. And I have a strong willingness to learn and grow.
Okay, well, that's a pretty comprehensive answer. It's almost like you've been teaching people what to say, and that's a good answer. All right, yeah, but I'm not really seeing it. I mean, the last 5 guys just came in here and said, I'm passionate, I want the job, work with kids, and I'm patient. How do you see that working?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
So why should I choose you then? Everyone's saying the same stuff, Gonzalo.
Mhm.
How do you see? Help me choose you. That's a good answer, but last 10 guys, I've seen 50 guys today and girls. They all said that they seem to have gone to some Gonzalo guy and he's given them this really good thing to say in the interviews, but they're all saying the same thing, which is, I'm experienced. Although I don't have qualifications and I've never worked in a school, I'm experienced with kids, and I've got things on my resume and my great learnings, and I live close and all these other things. But you pretty much all sound the same. I'm struggling to help me. I'm struggling to differentiate between the candidates because I don't know if you know about this. There's a paper process, and I've got paper all over my desk. I'm trying to figure out who to choose. Who should I choose, man? Oh, and by the way, no, I won't say that yet. How do I choose? Why would I choose you over Bob?
I'm very
Bob,
trustworthy.
I tell you what, Bob's really tall. Sell me on you, man. Come on. What do you got? Why should I pick you?
Yeah, I'm a strong believer in education. When I grew up as a child, I was never necessarily the best student, but I was very passionate and very determined. And I can relate to many of the kids nowadays that are struggling with social emotional issues. And they need someone not only to provide them the instruction, but someone to listen to, someone to be compassionate and show them the respect that they deserve.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that sounds good. I just happened to look at your Facebook profile, and I'm looking back at a post that you made in 2017. It seems like you're at a bit of a party. You look quite drunk there, in fact. How do you see that working?
Yeah, that was a party. We're celebrating my parents' 25th year anniversary, and yeah, I didn't realize that my family member had posted that.
I see.
But I'll make sure I take it down. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, that's good. That's take it down. That's a good one. And the other one would be I just flashed in my mind then. You said I didn't know what the family member posted it, and you might say something there about, as a student, about the connects to the values of the school. Okay, so just pause there. I'm looking away from camera because it's helping me think. So bear with me for a second. Sequence. Okay. Right. Normally I do. Hold on. Normally I do this in a coffee shop or at a face-to-face meeting. but I'm in my office at home. There's no one else here. I'm just pretending. Would you like to know the serious 3 secrets of selling anything to anyone?
Yep.
Would you like to know that?
Of course I would.
These 3 secrets have literally turned into millions of dollars of revenue, mostly for my customers over decades. And if I tell you these 3 secrets, you're going to have to promise me you won't reveal them to anyone else. I mean, if it gets out, I mean, everyone will be doing it. So here we go. Pay close attention. You'll want to record that this is going to take quite a long time, and you're going to have to go over and over it until it sort of seeps in, I think, because, you know, you've not done something. So let me just try this on for size. Pay attention. I'm going to use my late night DJ voice now. Step 1. Ask customers, it should be prospects, but ask customers what they want. And dig down beneath what they want to find out why they want it, why it's important to them. And what exactly do they want? And when do they want it? Can they see that they can have it? And what are they afraid of? They don't get it, or those sort of things. But it's mostly about defining what they want. Ask the customer what they want. Step 2. Find a way to give it to them. Step 3, they give you their money. That's it. And what most people don't do is step 1. They don't ask. They say, oh, Gonzalo, you're a student. Let me tell you about my program. We've got this, and there's 4 of those, and it's a course of that, and I've done this, and my experience is that, and then you'll get these 3 things, and we'll go through those, and you'll get the thing, and the what's the name, would you like to buy it at $700? Oh, I'm the courier. I just walked in, and here's the parcel. Like, what? It's to buy my book, right? So the purpose of me showcasing a discovery, like an interview with a prospect, the reason I did that is because that is sales mastery. I've done this so much that I can be you without really knowing your business. It's asking good questions. And there'll be a massive amount of things you can do to improve that set of questions. But I'm essentially saying, what is it that you want and why? And help me understand where you are now. And how do you feel now? Because customers buy outcomes, transformations, and feelings. They don't buy features. They don't buy a blue BMW. They might like the color blue, but they're not, or the bumpers. They're not buying the bumpers, right, on the car. Oh, we've got these great safe bumpers. They're like, okay, well, they're not buying bumpers. They're buying safety. They're buying the feeling of safety in that case. People buy iPhones because they're cool in the beginning. And Steve Jobs was a guy. He walked out in a turtleneck and trousers without a belt, like it just didn't matter. That's someone else's joke. Customers buy transformations and feelings, and we have to. You can't sell something to someone who doesn't want to buy it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have to help customers. Always, we have to help customers understand the gap or the pain or the thing they need to show them before we can sell them the solution. You have to help them understand the problem they've got. And a student, like many customers, will be just a bit confused and not really too sure what their even problem is until. And so when I started saying, well, I could have said, have you defined the exact school in the exact location, the exact role? Tell me those things. In a more direct way, but then that would not have unlocked the thought process that you were having in your mind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go too hard on the pain. I mean, you can tune that up and tune that down. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, you know, students like my daughter, she's 18, about to go to college. She's trying to figure out what courses to do, and she's just deciding. There's many things that she hasn't figured out, that there'll be a gap between what she knows and what she wants, and she doesn't know what she wants, and because she's young and therefore hasn't had that experience. So what I'm trying to say is that she can't see the problem until I shine a light on it. And then I go, oh, her name's Lauren, have you thought about how you're going to get from the halls of residence to your swimming training camp 5 miles away at 6 in the morning? Oh no, Dad. Oh yeah, it's going to be dark. Ugh. Whatever. So through the process of discovery, and you can sales is a teachable skill. The thing that people are born salespeople is bullshit. It's wrong. It does require consistency and persistence, and I'm a world-class salesman that I don't want to do selling. Like so I avoid selling by selling really expensive things, so I don't have to do a lot of selling.
That's a good place to be.
Right? I know how to pitch. I know how to make a proposal. I know how to call center. I don't want to do any of those things. I don't add the most value when I do that. Even for a long time. So let's flip round now. I'm the student. I've just said all the things I've said that you've said to me, I've just said to you. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm confused and I don't know what to do. And yes, you're right. It's good. One of the things too is to, as I probably did too good a job of, is saying, if you don't change what you're doing now, what's your future state going to be like? In other words, and to a salesperson, we know what you're really saying is, if you don't buy my product, how's your life going to be over there? So if you don't find your dream job, and this is where I could press a little harder, which would be saying, well, gosh, if you don't find your dream job, how are you going to pay your bills? I mean, you're living on your own, right? Or you will be. Oh yeah, my mum and dad live on the other side of the country, or I want to move. I live with my parents, but I want to move out. Or I live with my parents and I have to contribute to the household income, right? It's about time. So how's it going to be if you don't get, first of all, how's it going to be if you don't get a job? Ouch. I'm flipping burgers. And what's the do you increase the likelihood of getting a job as a first-class teacher if you've just spent a year flipping burgers?
No.
Probably not a good look, right? I mean,
right.
It may not be fatal, but it's like, what are you doing, right? It's very competitive. I'm back to Gonzalo for a second. Is getting a role quite competitive?
Yeah.
How competitive?
Well, every year, thousands of students graduate from college.
And how many jobs are there? In your district?
Yeah, maybe every year there's maybe 20 to 30 jobs, but there's hundreds of applicants.
Right. So what do you think you need to do in order to secure a job? What have you done so far? And what do you think you need to do in order to get the dream job at Edgewater, or whatever it's called?
Yeah, so what I've done so far is went to school to get my degree. What I need to do is make sure that I have good letters of recommendation, I have a good letter of intent, have a good application, because I have to make it past the screening, and then I have to do extremely well during the interview.
So the thing is, have you ever done, depending on who they are, you ever, do you play a sport
Yes, sure.
or music or something like that? Do you remember what sport do you play?
Soccer.
I love soccer. I'm a British football. I'm an Arsenal supporter. So the first time you played soccer, were you any good at it?
No, not really. It took me a while.
So the first time you're going to apply for a job, you're going to be any good at that?
Most likely not.
So what'd you do? How'd you get good at football?
I went to practice.
And did you just practice on your own?
No, I listened to the coach, follow the
Oh,
directions.
you had a coach.
Mhm.
Oh, you had, what's the role of a coach in football?
Well, he showed me how to run and
Kick.
moves and kick and
Yeah, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different. Oh, I get it. So, and you may need to make this shorter depending on how long your opportunity to. All you're trying to do is, and I'm spending longer doing it. We're now heading into too long, but for the purposes of training, just exploring other things.
Okay.
And what the thing that you want to do is you want to be able to zero in on their deepest, darkest fear or their strongest future hope and dream.
Okay.
And that sounds a bit mean, but actually you're just helping them. Because if they don't, if they just do the best they can do without any have you ever, do you know what a compass is?
Uh-huh.
And a map?
Yes.
And you got your Google Maps on your phone now, right? So take your phone off you and don't give you a compass and don't give you a map. And I drop you. Have you ever been to Chicago? Just
No.
say no. So I'm going to take you to Chicago, and I want you to find some major landmark there. I'm going to drop you on the edge of town. And you're not allowed to talk to anyone. How's that going to go?
Not going to go very well.
Right. So if I gave you your compass and your map and showed you where you were now and where you want to be, because that's how you use a map. You need to know where you are now and where you want to be. So you know where you are now. In summary, and I'm not being mean to say, Gonzalo, that you're like many students, you're like every student. You're not too sure, you haven't done this before, you're standing on the edge of the jungle and you're trying to figure out how to get to the other side. And if you don't have a map and you don't have a compass and you don't have Google Earth or whatever, then you're going to be flailing around. And did you say going around in circles? You've been trying to cut a path. You don't know where, you can't see where you're going. There's jungle everywhere. And, if you could be elevated and see where the landmark where you want to go. And if you can by the way, well, there's 20 schools in the jungle, and one's over there, and one's over here, and one's over here, and one's over. Well, if you haven't made a decision where you want, what your destination is, then any direction to start is fine. Meaning you can just go anywhere. You just, I've misquoted that, but there's a famous quote that says, if you don't know where you're going, then you just might as well go in any direction, right? So if you want to go, if what's it called, Evergreen or something, I've forgotten.
Sunnyvale.
Say Sunny.
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyville. Sunnyville. If you want to go to Sunnyville and it's over there, and you're facing that way, Sunnyville's over there and you're facing that way, and you don't know where Sunnyville is over there, but you don't have a map and you can't see it, what's the likelihood of getting to Sunnyville?
Very unlikely. Yeah.
Right. So what do you need? I shouldn't have told you. What do you need in order to get to, if you're standing on the edge of the jungle or the busy streets that you don't know, what would be most helpful?
Well, I would need someone to tell me where I'm at and what direction Sunnyville's located.
Would another word for that be a guide?
Mm,
Oh, okay. So if you had a guide and I can extend the metaphor to provisions and other things, the things you need to know. So we've gone around lots of different topics a little bit, and I refine this into a much tighter set of questions to reveal the need and help them say, I need a coach, I need a guide, right?
okay.
Because what we're trying to do is, and I think you said it just before, didn't you? Did you say the words, that's right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's right.
That is the point of, that's right. So so all of these difficulties and all of these things and confusions and everything, Gonzalo, you're a student, you're confused. And if I gave you a iPhone that had the exact directions on it with a guide, do you think you'd get there in record time?
Yeah, I think I could get that much quicker.
Would that be a great thing to have?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of a question that gives you the answer. That's right. Would that be a not? That's a yes/no question. Anyway, Chris Voss would. I'd have to come. I have to think about it. Chris Voss. You don't need to know about him too much. Famous negotiator, wants to drive the conversation to that's right. When you're sitting at home, his example, looking at the TV and the two political party or whatever are debating, and then the one you don't like saying blah blah blah, and you go, that's rubbish, and then the one that you says the thing you like, you go, that's right. Oh, that's what I should do. I should summarize. So Gonzalo, if I gave you a compass and told you decided exactly what you wanted to do, and if I said to you with those two things, you're going to have a very high chance of getting to the destination in record time, what would you say?
That's right.
That's right. It's the summary. That's right. Okay. So would you be interested? So would it be? So tone is really important. So okay. Well, if I had such a guide, or I was such a guide, would you like to know more about that?
Yes.
Let me send you this checklist or something, or a 2-page thing of into thingy, or a video, show you this video. You'll find it really helpful. It's quite short, but I'll give you sort of the main stuff. Check that out. And if you think that's of interest to you, let me know. Let me know what you think. And they go away, they come back and they go, oh, it was good. Or you follow them up. A lot of this is done with texting and messaging. How was it? Oh, I didn't have time to look at it. Oh, cool, that's no problem. I was just thinking about that, some other thing. In that video is the thing that you were talking about. Oh, so anyway, but no, whatever. A real soft sell, and they go and do it, and they come back and say, oh, no, it's good. But it didn't tell me exactly what to fill in on the application form. Oh, what do you think you need now to be successful? Oh, I need to know how to fill in the form. Maybe. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I could help you with that. Would that be of interest to you? Yeah, it would be, yeah. And if you, I don't want to blow smoke or anything, but I've filled in about 4,000 forms or whatever it is, and I've reviewed hundreds of forms or whatever those things are. And it could be just 1 or 10, or you could say I know how to do it. But so as you can tell, I sort of know about filling in forms in the right way. Because let's face it, have you ever well, for example, you get 2 forms. One of them is nicely typed using typed letters, the answers. The other one's written in a really scrawly, childlike looking handwriting. Which one would you pick?
The nice one, yeah.
Yeah. So there's examples. There's some simple things that we can help you with, and you just give them a couple of examples. Like here's the thing that, and this can go to content. 3 things, 5 things that college graduates looking to be teachers get wrong on their applications. They say this, this, and this, or they forget to say that, that, and that.
Okay.
You can draw that out of the conversation. Oh, a few of those things. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, well, look, if you thought it was of interest, I'll send you over a thing, or you could just pitch. I mean, for this kind of stuff, how much money are we talking about for your product?
I would like 2,500.
And delivered over what time?
6 sessions.
Okay. And what's the value of a teacher's salary?
Starting wise, maybe about 60,000.
So there's no guarantees in life, Gonzalo, excuse me. But imagine over here, I've got a big bag of money. It's got about 60 grand in it. I'm going to give it to you. How would that feel? It'll be your salary for a year. How'd that feel?
Good.
Have you ever earned 60 grand before?
No.
Wow, man, imagine what you could do with 60 grand. Would your life be changed if you're earning 60 grand today?
Oh, yeah.
How would you feel if you had a signed contract starting in July for a 60 grand job? How would that feel?
It's time to celebrate.
I'm getting pretty excited. Are you getting excited?
Mm-hmm.
Because you seem pretty low key. I mean, we're talking about the dream job, 60 grand, whatever. You be who you are, but you want to get them feeling the vision and the success. Can you? It's sort of like in your mind's eye. Can you imagine the transformation? Would you, if you had a signed contract today to be a teacher at Sunnyvale, would you be anxious about what you're doing in your job search?
No, because I'll be.
Would you
happy.
be quite relaxed finishing your exams?
I would be very happy.
Yeah. So, and do you know that 7 students out of 20 of mine have that experience, and then they go on, the others go on to secure great jobs in the next 3 weeks or whatever that thing is, if they do the work. So I've got this big bag of money over here. I can't guarantee that you're going to get it because it's being held by a friend of mine at Sunnyvale School, but we're going to give you that money. If I was to slide 60 grand across the table, how do you feel if I asked you to slide back 25? How'd you feel if I asked you to slide back 5 grand? I'm going to give you 60.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to slide me back 5.
Yeah, I'm still winning.
How'd that feel?
I felt okay because I have 55.
You're going to be up, right? And then next year you get 60 or plus if your wages go up, right? And you got your dream job because you're not in the other school, whatever that's called.
Okay.
So how does that feel? Does it sort of feel when the ball, like, I know is 5 grand a lot of money to you?
Yeah.
Right. But if I said to you, you invest 5 grand, you're going to get 60.
Yeah.
Now let's recap. You're going to get the compass. You're going to get the map. You're going to stand on the side of the thing. I'm going to be your guide. We're going to do it in 6 sessions. We're going to. I've helped 20 people, 5 people, 2 people so far. I'm just starting out doing this. You're the 4th person who would be in my program. So here's I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse because I'm super experienced, but I'm only just starting doing this. You can be completely okay with that. It's just call it out. So before we start, I've just got to tell you, this is new to me. I've been doing it for a couple of years, helping people sort of informally, and I've helped so many people. I've been in the school system for 20 years, and I've done this and that, and I've been a teacher, So look, you're probably thinking you don't want to continue the conversation at the beginning. They go, no, I want to hear what you've got to say. Right? That's called an accusation audit. Oh. It's if you have what are your elephants in the room for you personally?
Yeah, it would be spending the money to get money.
Yes, but now we're going meta. Now it's I'm asking you as the coach and the guy who doesn't know how to sell yet, or all those uncertainties. So what are your elephants in the room? You're worried about, you don't have experience selling.
Don't have experience, right?
And you're worried about when you get in front of someone, they won't think you're credible.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, is 2,500 too little or too much?
Mm.
And what are your other worries and concerns?
That what if they don't get a job?
So
Right? What if
they take your course and fail?
Yeah, they don't do the work.
Oh,
Right. Or they
okay.
blame me for not getting the job because
Okay.
they
Yeah,
didn't do the work.
that could happen. Yeah. What else?
What if they put a negative comment or a negative review?
That could happen. What else?
What if I lose faith, right? I lose their trust.
You lose.
Their trust.
Oh, you lose their trust. Yeah. Yeah. What else are you worried about as a new person doing this job, this business?
Well, what if I'm not a good coach?
Mm-hmm.
What if they require more time from me than I'm willing to give?
Mm-hmm. What else that you're worried about? What's the thing that keeps you up at night?
Not building a company, not being successful,
Failing.
Failing. Yeah.
Not making money and failing.
Yeah.
Do you know what keeps me up at night?
Nope.
Not being successful, not building my company and failing.
Well,
Because guess what? That's just normal. You're human. You're human. It's a normal human reaction. We need to stand guard at the door of our minds. And I'm going to swear, if it offends you, I'm sorry, but it's just who I am. You wake up in the morning and you think, oh, fuck that, fucking this day, fuck that guy, don't fucking milk and the bricks, the fucking eggs are off and the fucking traffic, and that fucking guy cut me off, and I'm, fuck, I've got to go to that meeting, and fucking this, and fucking that, and fucking the other, and I go fucking home, and I get into the fucking fridge, and I open a fucking beer, and I drink one, and think, thank God that day's over. If I repeatedly say fuck to myself, even just to myself, what's my day going to be like?
yeah,
It's going to be
fucked.
fucked.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fucked, right? Obviously. So this isn't running into the garden full of overgrown garden and going, no weeds, there's no weeds here. You know, I can't, just because I'm going to say there's no weeds. It's not a bullshit mantra. It is deciding how you view the world. It is knowing that our amygdala, our reptilian brain, it hasn't evolved much since the dinosaurs. We came after the dinosaurs, but whatever. And that our amygdala is completely set up for survival. We're supposed to be scanning for tigers and torrential rain in the river and drowning and snakes and poisonous things, and those things don't live in our world anymore. They're far away and we're protected. So we spend a lot of our time going, oh my God, that on our phones or otherwise, and our brain can always find what's wrong, always. And it's the most well-meaning people who love you say, oh, I'm going to do this thing to get a teacher. Oh, well, man, you sure you want to do that? I mean, don't you want to get a real job and you're going to start up a thing? And gosh, what if people lose trust in you. And what if you're not a good coach? And what if you don't have any experience in sales, do you? And your dear old mum or your sister or your brother just put a dagger in your heart, right? And it's like, fuck, well, I know all those things, but fucking don't tell me, you know? Right?
That's
It's
right.
just so true, so true. Entrepreneurs, people don't, so they're different archetypes, and entrepreneurs, we have a thing in New Zealand called tall poppy syndrome, which is the idea is that a tall poppy grows up above the wall and gets cut off, right, by the weather or by the side. So don't stand out. Don't you don't want to be, we're all very humble and respectful and whatever down here, and we're all good sort of down to earth people, and we don't like those showy bastards, right? And actually what it really is a form of insecurity and jealousy. That's what it is. And from others, that's what internet trolls are. They're just jealous. Oh, you'd say that because you're the such and such. So, well, mate, first of all, I'm not going to argue with you, but secondly, you work for McDonald's. I mean, you don't even make your bed every day. I'm not going to take advice from you. Tell me about your basement in your mum's house. Describe it to me, right?
Yeah.
So, the part of being an entrepreneur is you have to build a muscle of what you're doing in this context with DeWee, as you're looking to gain knowledge and skills and build yourself up, and you must understand that every entrepreneur faces, it doesn't, I mean, Elon Musk is having sleepless nights. I trust absolutely, for sure. Even though if Twitter was to implode tomorrow, which it sort of is by the sound of it, and he loses $44 million, his life doesn't change. I mean, he's embarrassed, and his cult of personality thing is wrecked. I actually think he's doing it on purpose. If he fired them, he'd have to pay redundancy.
Mm.
If he fucks with them and they leave, oh well, see you later. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Because he has not a big fan on otherwise, except he's done achieved some amazing things. He's probably a nutcase. It's a bit of a worry that someone could have that much power and money and be a little bit off the wall. But then again, maybe we'll end up living on Mars, and he'll be the guy that, we centuries from now, thank God that he was around, right? Who knows? Anyway, I'm off the beaten track. So don't feel bad. You're feeling it's a normal thing, and put yourself around people who have model success. Fucking brilliant. Tony Robbins. Do you know Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins concept, model success. So find somebody who's doing this already, and then understand what they do. Do you know of other people doing this job, the one you want to do?
No. I
Can
know
you
other
find them
people
on the internet?
Okay.
Can you?
I'm sure I can. Yeah.
I mean, this is a job that exists, or a business that exists elsewhere.
Right.
Career counselor, of course it does, right?
Okay.
So go look what they do.
Okay.
Go look at their webpage. Fill in their contact form as if you're a student. See what they do. See what they say. See what they send you. Understand the market. And you could go, I mean, maybe the market on the East Coast and the West Coast and Midwest is different, probably is. But, go experiment outside will you think you'll be working within a defined geography yourself?
I think, well, because it's online, so I think it
Could be anywhere, right?
could be anywhere, right?
Yeah. So I would just go and find the number one.
Okay.
Hold on. So. See my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's the name of your thing?
Employment consultant.
That sounds like a recruiter. Recruitment. Oh, what city are you in?
In Rancho Cucamonga, California.
How to spell? I'll just put
Rancho.
California.
Yeah,
Okay.
California.
Oh, Rancho. Yeah. I'll just put California. So this is too generic.
Okay.
It's because it could be recruitment, headhunting, compensation consulting, human resource consulting. You're looking for
Would it be job seekers or?
university graduate career counseling.
Okay.
Career coach. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
You're a career coach.
Okay.
Now, I don't necessarily encouraging you to call yourself a career coach if what everyone else is that, and these people are way ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be different, not necessarily the same. But
Okay.
if you're a podiatrist, do you know what a podiatrist is?
Someone with deal with feet.
And a podiatrist used to be called a chiropodist before that. And I once had one as a client. I said, "What's your biggest problem?" And they said, "No one knows what the fucking word podiatrist means." and when I say I'm a podiatrist, they go, "Oh, well, what would the vernacular be for podiatrist? They're a what?
Foot doctor. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, woo! Right.
Yeah.
So you need to enter the conversation that's in the mind of your prospect.
Okay.
You need to enter the conversation that's in the mind, already in the mind of your prospect.
Okay.
So for her, it was, we've got professional ethics and my name's something podiatry. I said, yes. And you've got a sign that she was in a high traffic, relatively high traffic, busy medical center where there was a GP with 10 doctors or something. So people are coming and going for GP stuff. I mean, you know what I mean by that? General practitioner, doctor.
Mm.
Coughs and colds and whatever. And she was down the hall from that, and she had a sandwich board in the foyer. There was a cafe, the busy doctors, there's other people, other services upstairs. She was on the ground floor. You could look down the corridor. It's like a long corridor of a professional services office where the signs sticking out of the wall above the doors were about that big. And that 30 meters down the hall, it said, So, and I just walked her down to the sign. I said, we're going to stand here for 10 minutes and we're going to watch people come in. And what I want you to do is look at their eyes. Where do they look? They're probably going to the doctors, because most of them are going to the doctors. And we're going to put your sign right in the way. So that in the natural path of footfall on purpose. Normally wouldn't do that because it's annoying, but because I'm basically going to make them look at the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they'll trip over. So her sign had a complicated logo with black background. It was a skeleton foot with veins going through it. It was all very sort of, I didn't like it, but it was, graphically interesting. And it was something podiatry. And I said, you watch how many people figure out what that is. Almost none. It's like a puzzle. You have to stand there and look at it for 5 minutes to think, what the fuck's that about? What? Like the logo without the words, you'd never get it. Doctor, is a bone doctor here, or what's that? Blood doctor? I said, replace that sign with a giant big foot with a big toe, beautiful foot, not a dodgy, nasty foot. And put foot doctor on it, right? And then down the end of the hall, she had a glass door, see-through door. She was right at the end of the hall. and then her reception couch was there long ways. So door like this, couch like that, and you go into a building like that. So you walk through these doors, and at the end of the couch was a petition. So basically, if I look down the hall, I could see through the glass and see this wall of petition. A couple of pot plants, a little couch. I could clearly see it. It was like a blank canvas. She had a few posters on it or something. So I said, "Foot doctor, this big. Sign, foot doctor, foot doctor." Those two things increased her footfall 30%.
Wow.
People just walked in. I've been coming here for years, and I didn't know there was a foot doctor at the end of this hall.
Right.
So anyway, we're talking about what you're going to call yourself. So,
Okay.
And we're coming up to an hour. So let me just say, you want to go into here, and your results will be different to mine because I'm not in the geography and whatnot. So let's use the metaphor of I'm looking for a plumber in my hometown, so I get a more local result. Does that make sense? You're going to do this for you and your services, and because I wasn't sure what the label was and the keywords were in Google, I was searching for what I thought would be on the page.
Okay.
University graduate career counseling California. The search terms to find, and I found. Well, I found the Department of Education in California, but I also found career counseling services at Berkeley, which will be internal, blah, blah, blah. So if you did that search, you'd get a different result.
Okay.
But let me do, so when you search, notice too, that Google gives you likely next words. So when you do your search, you do career coach, look at those next words.
Okay.
That's what Google is telling you is highly relevant.
Okay.
There's a clue. All right, but I'm going to do plumber Auckland. Now I live in Auckland. What do you think Google's going to give me if I type plumber Auckland? What will I see?
Plumbers in Oakland.
Yeah. So that's correct. And you generally don't need to type Auckland because Google knows you're in Auckland. But so here's now I'm in my local market. I'm seeing advertising. Right? These are paid ads. Let's just review them for 2 seconds. This is not so much about telling you about Google, but helping you understand where you fit and trying to find your audience and your competitors. So you're a new plumber in Auckland, and you look at this, and it says we're trusted and skilled, and we're plumbers, and we do it, and we've been doing it for a while, over 100 years. We're good, and this customers say we're good in 24 hours, and we're licensed. And personal and professional, and this one says we've been 10 years in business, and 7 years in business, and 10 years in business. And this one says experienced and reliable and 24/7. And this one says team at your plumber is committed to improving. And this one says we are emergency plumbers. And this one says none of them say call me now. Here's your offer. Even the guys advertising, no offer. All that ad says is a complete waste of time. It says, I'm a plumber. Right? You need to differentiate yourself from I imagine that there are career counselors in schools, there's a career counselor in universities, there's career counselors in business, there's career counselors in government, there's career counselors in enterprise. Is that?
You're right. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, there you go. That's the word I'm looking for. That's right. So isn't it interesting that if I frame my, and because I'm not prepared and haven't got it down pat, I have to think about it. So it's a bit pausey, but if I frame my presentation in the right way, I can get you to say that's right. Now, you sort of know that I want you to say it because we talked about it already. I revealed it to you, but you just say to you married or your partner or
Yeah, married,
so say to your wife, the list of things, just reflect back to her summary and say, so what you want to do, you want me to do is you want me to drive to the thing, get the supermarket and get some apples and pears and blah, 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 blah. That's right.
Mhm.
If you summarize, you're doing two things. You're checking understanding. No, that's not. I know you. No, not apples. I want bananas. The kids will do that too. Oh, did I say San Diego? I mean somewhere else. You're checking understanding, but when you get understanding, they go, "That's right."
Okay.
If you can get your prospect to say, "That's right," you're having the same type of connection and relationship, understanding, meeting of minds, as where you get me. That's right. That's exactly right. You're so right. I am afraid, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know where my things are, and I'm really upset, and I'm worried about this. That's so, Gonzalo, you're so right. I trust you. They don't say that, but that's you building that relationship.
Okay.
And you're reflecting back, checking in. Did I hear this correctly? Is it the most important thing that you go to the Sunnyvale school or somewhere within 20 kilometers? I'm just trying to clarify. I'm not sure. So you use questions to get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Now, what's your offer? So do you have a written offer?
Like monetary? No.
Okay.
Like what I have an idea of what I'm offering.
Okay. So what time is it there now?
Right now it's 8:34.
Okay. So in the evening. So get a piece of paper, one sheet of paper, and just brainstorm. Don't worry about, not now, but after this call, don't worry about what it looks like. Just write down what your offer is and just keep writing, get paper after paper and just keep refining. Oh, that's not right. And what about that? Okay. And the key theme is, does it meet their needs? Does it meet pick the two or three things that are just the very most thriving issues to cause them, of the 1,000 students that's coming out, if they had this particular set of circumstances or beliefs or being, or they lived in a certain place, in other words, just some criteria to have this particular worry or desire, what would meet that, and what would be an irresistible offer. So I presented it to you in I'll give you 60 grand and you give me 5 back. That's one way to close, as a presentation of closing. I call it my big bag of money close. I literally just made that one up years ago. But these students may not be so amenable to that because they don't have 5 grand.
Right.
So write down your offer, and then on another piece of paper, write down all their objections. Don't have any money. Not sure if you can deliver. What if I follow the program and it doesn't work? I still don't get a job, no guarantee. Write down their worries and objections about this now, and then create your offer. So, and then keep working on it until when you show it to a student, they go, "Oh wow, that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. That's an offer I just have to say yes to that."
Okay.
Keep adding value till I just can't say no. So the target audience can't say no. So when you describe what you do as, oh, we're going to have 6 sessions and I'm very experienced, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't really understand what I'm getting.
Right.
It's too ethereal. It's because it's
Right,
about,
it sounds kind of risky, right? Because
well, it could be risky, yeah, like this doesn't sound concrete, and so try and make your deliverables concrete. And I'd go to the competitors and see what their sales pages look like. What do you get when you work with Bob Smith, the #1 career coach in New York? What does he give you? Oh, well, you'll get to access to me, and don't. I want you to focus on what the customer gets, not what the claim is of the person who's offering it.
Okay.
I'm very experienced. Don't mean shit if you don't get me the result.
Mhm.
And think in the deliverable: feelings, transformations, results. How your work at the end of the 6-week program or whatever it is, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel confident. You're going to know what your compass is. That's a metaphor you don't have to use. I'm just using it. You're going to have a map. You're going to have practiced, and we're going to have reviewed. We're going to assess. These all can be deliverables in your program, depending on how much time you want to put into it.
Okay.
Whether you're one-to-one, or you're just selling a remote control course, or you're doing one-on-one service. You're doing one-on-one service?
Right now, I was thinking of doing one-on-one until I build like.
I think that's where you've got to start.
Yeah.
You've got to start with one-on-one. But you can record these things, like I'm recording this. I'll send it to you. And I'm in here, there's things that I might turn into a short video to say, this I told to, this is the 3 steps for selling, the 3 secrets for selling. And they'll make it a short, it's 3 or 4 minutes. Do I have your permission to do that, by the way?
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much. And are you feeling like you're getting something out of this?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the replay so I can go back and look at it again and really listen to what you were saying.
Yeah,
because you said a lot. You said a lot, but I do see the imagery, the importance of adding concrete value, right? Eliminating the doubt. And I like the way that you said at the very end, you said write down all the objections, right? Because if I already know what they are, then I know my rebuttal, and I could really work on refining that.
In fact, better than that, you can present your offer and deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if the objection is price, so everyone goes to price. That's too expensive, don't have any money. That's the #1 thing people fear. And you can take that away by showing value, showing results. Just do in the $60,000, imagine what your life would be like conversation. That's revealing the potential transformation. Would it be worth it? Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. $1 to get almost 11 times that much, whatever it is. 10 times, 11 times, 55, 60.
Oh, yeah. And that's only 1 year.
It's only 1 year. So you could say, that's a really good point. I do that a lot. So when you're selling services to customers, like these guys are going to be maybe a one-time shot, right? They might come back, but they're not going to buy college exit coaching 6 years in a row. I doubt, right? So, but in a business where you're cutting their grass every month, then and it costs you. They pay $100 to get the lawns mowed, and you pay your guy $50. So your gross profits is 50, right? 100 minus 50. Imagine someone's working for you. But you know that once you cut the guy's grass 3 times, it's just week to week, month to month, whatever it is. But once you cut the grass 3 times, that customer's probably going to stay for 5 years, unless he moves or you destroy his roses. There's a reason. Okay, so we call that customer lifetime value. That's what you just said in a different way, measuring the result. And so if I know that the customer, let's say it's just a year, and say it's once a month to make the numbers easy, then 100 times 12 is $1,200. Is that right?
Mhm.
And my cost for 50%. So 50% of 1,200 is 600. So if I can get this customer on board, for 3 weeks or 3 months, I'm going to get $600. Make sense? And I'm going to go for the next 5 years, so that's $3,000.
Mhm.
Okay, so what would I pay to get $3,000? Oh,
Mhm.
would you like me to cut your lawns for free?
Mhm.
How about I cut your lawns for free the first time, and if you like it, I'll give you. I haven't thought this through, but let's do the math. We'll cut the lawns for free once. The second time you cut them 50% off, and the third time we'll give you 25% off, and then from then on it'll be the normal $100 a month. How does that sound?
Mhm.
50% first, free the first time. Would you let me cut your, no further obligation, would you let me cut your lawns for free, Gonzalo?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
So what does that cost me as a business owner? 3 times $50 is $150. I'm going to make 600 in the first year after paying the guy.
Mhm.
600 minus 150 is 350 profit. I can outlay, pay the service fee or whatever. In fact, I didn't count the revenue in the first 3. Anyway, I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do. I do.
And what you and in the presentation of a value to a prospect is to say, well, how long do you think you might be a teacher? I don't know, like 10 years. And your salary is going to be 60 grand times 10 years plus the growth, and as you move up your position. So what's 60 times 10?
Yeah.
600 grand. So now, how does 5 grand feel against 600 grand?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but 5 grand is still a lot of money. Well, it is, yeah. Well, how about this? Do you think I can help you? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. If money wasn't an object, would you be saying this right now? Yes. If I was cutting your lawns for free, would you say yes? Yes. Irresistible offer.
Mhm.
Fuck, he's going to cut them for free. I was ringing around trying to find a new gardener. Why wouldn't I take a free one?
Right.
And then when you do the first one, you massively over deliver. You sweep all the paths and you do all the things that you're not normally going to do, and you leave a gift for the owner, and you do other things, and they go, oh my god, I can't believe he not only did he think that thing, and he said, look, and he left the note saying, look, not included in our service is weeding the flower beds in the front, not included in a normal service is these things, but I noticed they needed doing, so I thought while I was here I'd just tidy it up for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, cheers, Batch. Darling, wife comes home. Did you read you hate gardening, Batch. Did you read? No, I organised the garden to do it, darling.
Right.
Right. And then that's this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it. These guys are so dumb. They cut my lawns for free, and they're going to give me 50% off next time. What about the third time? I think it's 25%. Have another beer. Are you serious? You're going to get 3 more lawns cut for the price of 3/4 of the price of one? Yeah. That sounds daft. What's his number? Right?
Right.
That's just stupid. What's his number? I'll get him to cut my lawns. Well, what was it like? I bet it was rubbish. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. He was there for ages. He did this. Oh, he said that the first time he comes, he wants to make sure it's really spends a lot of time, does the edges and everything to make it set it up properly. And then you wouldn't believe it. He did the weeding and did all these things and he just did them for free. Well, is he going to do that every time? No, well, no. He said that's this time he was just trying to make. I guess he's probably trying to make a good impression, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess he was. Must be a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so 2500, 5 grand, 60, 600. I'm just giving you bits and pieces of tools to think about.
No, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the replay.
And then,
Looking at it tomorrow.
and then you say, well, okay, you sure you're ready to go? Yeah, money. If money, how about you put down a 250 deposit, and we have our first session. And if you hate it, I'll give you your money back. Risk free. 10% deposit or 5% deposit, because it's $5 grand, right? I'm pitching at $5 grand, not $2.5. $250. It's normally $5 grand. You should choose a number that's not a round number. It's normally 4,000. I don't know. Don't worry about that. Just say $5 grand. It's normally $5 grand. Price it at $5 grand. Put $5 grand in the headline in the discussion, and then they go or $3 grand or some higher number, because it's worth it. Stack your stuff up. It's worth it. And then they go, okay, so it's $5 grand, and I'm going to have to put down 250, and I can decide at the end of the first session, what am I going to get my first session on? I'm going to get all this great value, and don't hold back. Just give massive value, more than they expect. Do the DeWee thing, which is very common. Promise this and give them extra. At the end of the first session, they're like, oh my God, I've just got to keep going because this has been great. And give them cliffhangers. So next time we're going to fill in the form.
Oh, okay.
The thing they really want. So don't teach them to be able to go away. Give them heaps of value where they understand, like DeWee's doing. You sort of understand the theory and stuff. It's once over lightly, but how do I actually do it? Oh, would you like to join my course? So you get your you get to your close, and then you say, you know, do you want to buy? And they do. You'd be ready for your this can be face to face, on the phone, and the messenger, send them to a web page. But the sales materials are quite similar. So you say, well, if you close now, look, I've got some spots opening up. I do one-on-one coaching at the moment, so I can't take on an unlimited number of clients. And I actually really like you. You're my kind of client because you've got a great attitude. And I wouldn't say that if I thought the guy was a fuckwit. If I thought he was an idiot, I'd say, look, normally this is 10 grand, but for you it's 12. Go away. Just filter them out. Guys, you know, another really good thing, gut feeling. Don't do it for the money if it doesn't feel right. Don't do it. Just say, look, I don't think it's a good match. And like, oh, I'll do it, but I'm going to grind your bones down to $100. Look, I respect your position. I understand budget's an issue. Seems like we're not a good fit. Here's a parting gift. Fuck off. Nicely. Here's a parting gift. As I would say to an exiting employee, I'm encouraging you to seek success elsewhere. Seek success elsewhere. You're fucking fired. Get off my yard. There's the fucking gate. I once had to say that to a guy because he wouldn't leave. You know where the gate is? Fucking go. Anyway, it was quite a lot to get to that. So value stack, and you want sort of tangible things. And just look at DeWee's offer. It's a whole lot of stuff, you know, and she gave you, it's great, you can model that. The checklist, the 5 things to avoid, the 10 things you must remember, the 4, I mean, and these things are all over the internet, and the reason they are is they work. But you're going to provide it all in one place, as she is. There's a little package, branded, and well, yeah. Oh, I could, as an objection, I could find all this information on the internet. You can. That's right. And they it's very
stuff. That's right. You can.
Yeah. Why don't you? Why are we even talking? Haven't you? But why? I often say that to people who say something stupid like that. or I can go down the road and get it for the guy's going to give.
Oh, yeah, you're right, but I didn't know. I didn't know how to find it.
Or well, have you done that then? Should we just talk about your ideas? Because I'm a bit confused. It's another one of my really good favorite sayings. And body language makes a difference. And in this thing, I'm a bit more excited because I'm coaching. But in a meeting with a person, even on Zoom, I might go, so yeah, I guess you could find it on the internet. Yeah. I guess I imagine you've done that already then.
Mhm.
You've done it already?
Mm.
Oh no. Well, what have you found? Oh well, I did a bit and I couldn't find it. Objection. Into the stands, right? I can get a better price. Okay. Oh look, I'm sorry. I've got another appointment. It's on the top of the hour.
Okay.
I'm fully. I'm not. I'm just role playing. I've got another appointment on the top of the hour. I'm fully booked. What were you saying about price? Oh, you can go down the road. Okay. Should I? So is that a no then?
Okay.
Oh, you want us to keep talking? Oh, okay. And you don't say it, but you're saying, oh, so it's not about price then. Well, here's another really good one. Oh, you got a price from them and you've got a price from me. Never ask what their other guy's price is. Try and avoid it. And if they're going to say it, oh, I could get that for this. So don't tell me. I really don't want to know. Honestly, I try and avoid disparaging competitors, and you do get what you pay for. The clue's in the name. Cheap counseling services, California. Yeah. Sometimes you can use their own marketing against them. Yeah, the clue's in the name, you know. So I guess this is not a very important decision for you, or this is not a tiny turning point in your life that you put your career in the hands of a cheap service. Does that sound like a good call?
Right.
Do you go abseiling and rock climbing with the cheap rock climbing department? You know, cut price ropes and hooks. Ugh. That doesn't sound too good, does it? You're flying to New York in We're Barely Trained Pilots Limited. Right? Oh, okay. You could do that. You could. And I honestly, I'm just making that stuff up just off the top of my head. It just came to me. But that's the sort of shit I'd say to people. Make a joke out of it. Like, oh yeah, well you could. Yeah. You could get your car serviced by Johnny barely knows anything about it in the back garden limited. You know, I've got a spanner, Gonzalez. You know,
Right.
Yeah, he probably will do it for $5. You drive your Mercedes down there. Good one. Right? The good technique is don't let them tell you their price. Like sometimes do, blurt it out. And another two ways to go. Sometimes say, well, okay, let's have a look at these. Let's see if we're comparing apples with apples. Oh, I'm not going to show you. Oh, why wouldn't you? You think their price is better than mine. I just like the opportunity. I think would it be in your best interest to know that what we're offering is the same as what they're offering, or compare and contrast. Of course, they offer they give you money back guarantee on the first lesson, do they? And you know that they don't. Oh no. Oh, okay. So is that the same offer then? Okay. Final thought about price, because price is the big worry and objection. Value stacked to price. The internet marketing guys go and look at .com secrets, Russell Brunson, if you don't know who that is. Don't buy his ClickFunnels. He's got a great community, great trainer. Software's in a mess at the moment. Don't buy his product. It's a good product, but don't buy it. But .com secrets, you'll see masterclass of value stacking, you know. And then we're going to get this, and we're going to get that, and we're going to get the other. So that's one thing to do. Be very tangible, and you say, look, you know, and put value on it. The sample applications. I'm just making this up. 9 sample successful applications. Go hunt out teachers who just got recruited and say, do you got a copy of your successful thing? Do you mind if I just white out your name and use it as a template? Right? Particularly your own students eventually. I mean, when they're students at uni, at college, they like to sit past tests, right? They like model answers.
Oh, yeah.
Speak in their language, into the conversation that they're already having. So you have the model answers for that then, do you? Have you probably filled in 10 of these forms already? Oh, no, only one. And how'd that go? I didn't get a job. Oh, okay. Would you be interested in the model answer? You got a model answer? Most of that is window dressing, marketing, you know, positioning, speaking. And I'm not saying you have to do any of these things. I'm just trying to find examples of tangible things.
No, I appreciate it.
Model answer worth value. Well, you could put 600 grand. Because if you don't get that right, you don't get the job.
Right.
Oh, but how long are we going to be talking? Shouldn't we be paying by the hour? Well, no, because you're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for my expertise. 2 prices. I'm not going to, don't tell me what theirs is. And they're in front of you or talking to you. If they're already convinced the other guy's better and his price is better and he's faster and cheaper and he's their uncle, he's fucking bought it already. If he's down here talking to you, there's a reason.
Okay.
It might be just you're the second guy to quote. That's okay. So then you say, okay, well, you know, there's service providers all over the place for all kinds of things. I don't really know that guy. And if I did, I wouldn't really want to comment too much on it. All I can tell you is about what we do, and you have to decide for yourself. So, but if price wasn't an issue, if imagine, I'm not saying I'm going to reduce my price or change my price, but if imagine for a second that our prices are exactly the same, I wave my magic ball pen, then price is the same. Who would you want to work with, and why? This is one of the most effective sales techniques. You have 2 of these and 1 of those. Use them in that proportion. I'm doing a lot of talking, I know that, because I'm not selling to you, I'm teaching you. So in sales, these are the most important things. The most important thing is the question. Pitching, I've got this, I've got that. What do you need?
Okay.
So who would you choose and why? Oh, well, to be honest, I went down their office, and you know, it's in downtown derelict city. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, to be honest, yeah, the guy I met there was a bit of a dick. Oh, okay, it's cheaper though. Yeah, cheaper. And to be honest, I would prefer to work with you because, oh, why? Oh, what sort of things did you like? Oh, well, you've got the checklists, and you've got the model answers, and you've been a teacher for 30 years, and you're going to introduce me to teachers that at cocktail parties that have, or whatever, barbecues, that have just become teachers in the last year, and you're going to do all these other value-added things that guy, he's just basically going to make me sit in a room for an hour 6 times. That's sort of his pitch. He says he can do it. He says he can do it. He says he's good. He says, and he's experienced, and he says. But I've been through your 1 hour introduction for free, and you've shown me you can do it. You've shown me and taught me already. Why would you choose me? And what happens is it forks there. I wouldn't choose you. Oh, okay. Well, gosh, I'm not offended or anything.
Mhm.
Why would that be? Help me out. Is there something like is he giving away, boxes of chocolates or something? What's he doing? I might say something stupid, bottle of champagne with that or what? What are they doing? That's different. Oh, well, the thing I like down there is he specializes in this kind of teacher and I'm that kind of teacher. And I prefer to work with him and on the other, this, that, and the other. So the ones you're losing, they're not lost because they're still in your conversation, but find out what the other guy's doing that's causing them to be attracted. And then sometimes they'll just say, well, actually, my brother went there and he did a good job. And, so I'm probably going to. And those ones you can't win. Or he says, I want to work with you. And you go, why? Oh, it's and why is that? And tell me more about that one. Oh, well, I imagine. And why is that important to you? Oh, but and how do you think that'll go? Oh, well, working with you, I can blah 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 blah. And sometimes you can give them an encouragement if they're not thinking of everything. Oh, in the checklist, is that something? Oh, yeah, the checklist. Yeah, I love the checklist. Why do you love the checklist? Oh, well, the checklist. How do you imagine the checklist would work for you? The checklist will work for me. And what they're doing is selling you to you. If price was the same, I definitely want to work with you. And they're just locking in their own brain. This guy's better, and this is better, and that's more value added. And this is important. Why is that important to you? So you really want the checklist, and you really want the model answers. There'll be a few things in this service offering that'll be just like the fucking nuggets that they just go, yes, that's the irresistible offer. Keep thinking about that and have conversations until someone goes, and you just say, here's the thing, is this the most important one? That's right, yes. And you can just tell. You'll be able to feel it yourself, but don't believe yourself. You're not the customer. How old are you? I'm 57.
I'm 54.
Okay. So you're not the customer. You're 30 years older than the customer or more. So ask the customer because they'll have a different idea. And just go and sit in the coffee shop with a bunch of kids and say, hey, look, how's it going? Oh, it's going good. Yeah, look, call me crazy. Would it be crazy of me to ask you a couple of questions about career counselling? I'm a career counsellor. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to figure out what's important. Would it be crazy of me to ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Would it be crazy of me? Very important words if you want to do something. Ask someone to do something, because in most cases the answer has to be no. Would it be crazy of me to ask you to upgrade my suite? Oh, well, no, it wouldn't be crazy. But, and that one, the next one is, who'd lose their job if you did that? And sometimes you have to set it up. Oh, it's the shoulder, yeah? Oh, how busy are you? Not too bad. The hotel's about half full. Oh, okay. So I booked the middle tier floor. Yeah, you got the middle tier floor. I guess all those upper tier floors are just jam-packed full of high value. No, they're all empty. Those guys don't come till the summer. Oh, okay. And so they're all just like sitting there. Yeah, they're all just sitting there. Okay. And how many keys do you want? Well, I want 2. But I just thought, would it be crazy of me to say to you, I won't tell anyone. Well, I'll just massively give you the most awesome personal recommendation of 5-star review for the hotel, but personal recommendation as well. Would it be crazy of me to suggest that, in fact, better language to say, suggest I could be upgraded, not you have to agree to it. I could be upgraded. And the guy goes, oh, well, he doesn't say there's no fucking way, the rule says no, right? Because if he says that, okay. He says, oh, when he goes, oh, it means it can be done. We just got to figure out how. So you just model this thing. You go, oh, well, who'd lose their job if that happened? Anyone? No? Normally the answer. Oh, so it wouldn't be crazy and no one lose their job. Oh, come on then. What do you reckon?
Well, that's a good idea.
You know,
So
you want.
Yeah, I've learned a lot, Andrew. A lot. I'm glad I didn't take any notes because that way I was totally engrossed in what you were saying. So I'm looking forward to the replay because tons of value here.
So there we have an unstructured zooming around the world of sales. Boil it all down to understand who your customer is, ask them what they want, find a way to give it to them, take their money. Create an irresistible offer, value stack. Figure out what they want, what's in it for them. Stop thinking about why you want to do it.
Okay.
And find the things that cause the yeah, that's right things. In the summary back, I understand, you've said this, you've said this is your pain, this is your worry. So you're really worried about what happens if you don't get a job. That's right. I'm really worried about that. And then imagine what's going to happen if you don't, the consequence of not achieving the result, and what's the benefit of achieving the result over 10 years, 600 grand or more. And so we're talking about a 600 grand decision. Sounds like, no wonder you're stressed. I understand. Now that we think about it like that, this is your whole life. Yeah, it is. So you really want to go with the A team, don't you? Well, yeah. Well, here I am. And here's a no-brainer, easy way to get started. And it's 5 grand. 5 grand. 60 grand over, 5 grand back. Okay. Well, how about this? Just, you can't, because you're doing one-on-one selling, by the way. When you do one-on-one selling, you can say anything. You don't have to have a consistent pitch. You can test it, right? So long as you don't put out the same thing, you put 5 grand on your website if you want. And so you can test and say, well, look, so long as you never tell my wife, right? Or I probably shouldn't do this, but I really like you. So how about this? What if I was to, I don't know, 6 lessons, 8 lessons, whatever, 10 lessons. What if I was to say, I'll just pay for one, $250. Let's call it that. That's 50% off the first lesson. Normally $500 for 10 lessons, whatever it is. Let's call it $250 for the first lesson. And if you book it in today or tomorrow, I'm really busy. Like if you don't book it in today or tomorrow, this April, May, June, July's gone. People are calling me left, right, and centre. You should see my social profile. I've been posting, so how about $250 now? And the guy goes, oh well, you know, and you're probably thinking, what happens if it doesn't work? You might be wondering if you might be thinking you wouldn't like it. You're probably thinking you wouldn't like this training. Oh no, I really like this training. You're probably thinking, I'm not sure if I'm the coach for you. Oh no, I'm sure you could do a good job. You're possibly thinking that you know, it's not worth $250. Are you thinking that? Oh no, we've talked about this. This is a life-changing decision worth 600 grand and my happiness and whatever. So, and you call out the things that you're probably thinking the negative thing. Think very this is very counterintuitive. Most salespeople will be trying to get to yes. So you agree that you want this? Yes. You agree that you want that? Yes. You agree that you want this? Yes. $7,000. Oh. You're probably thinking that you don't want that. You're probably thinking that this is an objection. No. If it is, they'll tell you, yes, that's the problem. Oh, you've uncovered the problem. Oh, so you're worried that it won't work. Well, let me show you that proof, other things to deal with that. You're probably thinking this, you're probably thinking that, and they don't even notice you're repeating the sentence. In coaching, your brain works differently. But test this out in non-important conversations and negotiations. You're probably thinking this, and they go, oh, that thought never entered my mind. No, you're probably thinking I'm a charlatan. What? No. Compared to, try this for size. I don't want you to think I'm just one of those coaches who's going to take your money and run away. I don't want you to think about that. He's probably one of those guys. Try this. I'll tell you, I'll demonstrate it to you. Clear your mind. I don't want you to think of pink elephants. What are you thinking of? Pink elephants, right? So never, what they call it, never say I don't want to. There's a way of summarizing that. I'm tired now. Say it as you probably think the thing. You probably think the thing, and they'll go no, never even thought of it. When you say you probably think the thing, and it's not in their mind, it doesn't stick. If you say I don't want you to think the thing, it lands. It is the psychology of our brain in practical field testing. Who the fuck knows why? But if I said you're probably thinking of a green Porsche, you're like, no. Don't think of a yellow banana.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably think, no. Probably think I'm a charlatan. Any big objection or a price will be often the one. If price wasn't an issue, who would you choose and why? And then dig. And if they choose the other guy, find out. If they choose you, just keep saying, why is that important to you? Because that attaches the thing, customers will tell you shit you didn't imagine. The most important thing to me is that I get 6 lessons with you because I'm fucking useless at attendance. Or the most important thing to me is I get the checklist you've said that I've never heard of. And they attach to the outcome. Why is it important to you? Well, without that, I'm not going to get this. And then know that it's okay to feel doubt and to be uncertain. And if you have, let me ask you this: how certain are you that you could do a good job now, based on your experience? How certain are you that you could really help people if they do the work and they've got a good attitude? How certain? You can't guarantee them a job, but how certain are you that you give them the best preparation they could? How certain?
80%.
If you like, yeah, 80%.
Yeah.
And if you had 80% certainty, how much effort are you going to make to deliver that program?
I'm going to go above and beyond.
Right. And if you go above and beyond delivering the program, if you sense the guy's not getting it and you do more and you sense the guy's not, well, that's the other thing. Well, if you get to the end of the thing and you're not there yet, well, we'll just keep doing it till you get there. I'll keep supporting you till you get your job. And you can define what that is. You go in the group and we talk to you once a week or whatever it is. If you've got certainty about the thing, you do take massive action. If you take massive action, what kind of results are you going to get? Good results. Yeah. If you get good results, then what happens next? What happens to your certainty?
It's 100%, yeah.
Okay, now, on the other hand, if you're sitting in your room there and you think, oh, fuck, I'm not too sure how to do this. I'm Tom Cruise and I've got to jump across those buildings in that movie and I've got a wire and everything, but I think I might hit the wall, right? And you're uncertain. If you're uncertain about an outcome, if you're taking a penalty in football and you walk up and you think, oh my God, he's big. The goal seems small. That ball seems flat. The ground's bumpy. Fuck. It's been 10 years since I took a penalty and my wife's watching. Oh, my best mate's going to take the piss out of me. I'm not certain I could do that. How likely is it that you're going to make the best possible kick?
It's very unlikely. Yeah.
Right? And if you don't make the best possible kick, how likely is it you're going to score a goal? Unlikely. And if you don't score a goal, what does that do to your original belief? It's like, I fucking knew I was going to miss, right? And you walk back with your head in your hands going, oh, fuck, I knew I was going to miss, right? And that outcome was determined as you walk to the ball. You can kick perfectly and miss. You can kick perfectly and be saved. You can slip. But if you don't have if you can't get certainty in your body, in your mind and in your body, like really feel it, like it's not just wanting it as well. That's a different thing. But
Mhm.
certainty, you don't know how you're going to do it, right? Have you got every micro step mapped out? No.
Mhm.
I don't know how I'm going to get my negotiation course done, but I've got a few ideas, and I kind of know that. Like, have you ever seen a sailboat?
No.
So, okay, what about airplanes? Do you think airplanes
Mhm.
fly like this? They don't. They go,
Okay.
you get blown off course and they cross creeks. Expect that to happen. It's normal, right? Absolute. The more certain you can just get in your head, see the result, you're going to get it done. How many you're going to get. On the other side of this, your life's going to be changed, Gonzalo. And how important is it to your why? Is this really important to you? Or just
That's very important to me. Yeah.
how important? I'm not feeling it.
It's very important. I mean,
Like,
I invest a lot. It's like, yeah, I invest a lot of time training, developing myself.
exactly. So if it's that important to you, what sort of action and belief you're going to ring up crazy fucking nutcases in New Zealand and see what they can do for you. You're that committed, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that mindset and you are prepared to do almost whatever it takes within reason, and you don't burn the house, you don't spend all your money on one thing before you've tested it, sort of thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Mhm.
Of course. And you get absolute certainty, then you're going to take massive action. Then you're going to do the best job you can. You're going to ask people what they think, and they're going to tell you. And you're going to talk to people who've already got the result. And you're going to look at people who are getting the result. And you're going to model them, and then you're going to make your own shtick, your own unique Gonzalo special sauce, and you come up with special sauce. And you just call it your special thing, whatever jargon you want, because then that's something that's yours. Well, if I'm just compared to, well, they do 6 hours in a classroom and I do 6 hours in a classroom, and we both end up filling in a form. Which one would you like?
Right.
Or would you like to go in Gonzalo's room where you get the
secret?
That's quite a good one, because it's has a feeling of breaking the rules. What do you do for a living, Gonzalo? I give students the model answers in order to get jobs as teachers.
Okay.
Oh, how'd you know that? Like, you're breaking into schools or something.
Okay.
Right. And then you take massive action. You look at your outcome. You know that you're being blown off course if you are, and you say, I'm still trying to get over there. And so what do I have to do? What do I have to do next? And just take one step at a time, and expect to be discouraged. Expect to have setbacks is normal. The only people without problems, there's one place for people without problems in every town. It's the dead center of town, the graveyard. Right? Problems are sent to us to overcome, to become the people we're supposed to be. So expect it. Don't be surprised. Plan for setbacks. Plan for people to be confusing. Plan for people to say no. Plan for people to say you're an idiot. Why the fuck are you doing this? Plan. You must be crazy. Plan for all of that. Don't care. Just whatever it takes. And
I'm excited.
I will be here to help and support and review what you're doing if you want. I'm not going to do any of the work because I don't have time. You can't afford me. But I think that I see in you great potential, and I see I see a man who's given his life to the service of education, and I see you at a turning point in your career, and you're looking for something to sort of see out a period of time, or possibly even create something that's evergreen that you don't have to go to work. I mean, you build courses and stuff, and you can sell those, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Start with one-to-one. You start with one-to-one, then you go one-to-many with 1 and 20, and then you go one-to-many, and you do the course, the Berkeley course. Is it the Berkeley course? Not Berkeley. Design your life. Bill Evans. Bill Burnett. Do you know this book?
No.
Oh man. So here's a masterclass. Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett. Build the perfect career step by step. Bill Burnett and Dave Evans are or were lecturers at a big university. Can't see. One of them was a lecturer at a big university, and the other one was a Silicon Valley product designer. And they were running this kind of product design course. And their after hours, office hours students, they would come to them, and they'd always, their main problem was, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. they wouldn't come and say, oh, I need to talk to you about the plastics on my product. They'd say, well, what do you really want to talk about? Oh, well, my mum and dad, I feel like I'm letting them down if I don't finish this course, but I fucking hate it, or whatever, right? And they wrote this book, Design Your Life. That is a blueprint that you don't have to copy, that will give you a massive leg up.
Okay.
Look at their marketing, read their book, buy their course. I think they've got a course, and that'll give you a blueprint to your own unique service. And you can quote them on some things and use some of their material, by way of example, it actually doesn't matter what you do when you leave university, because 80% of you within 4 years will be doing something else. 80% of what you study at university, that's the wrong statistic. Within 4 or 5 years of leaving, 80% of you will be working in a field of endeavor that's not your degree. And that's okay. You'll be using it in different ways. When students come in and say, what's your passion? Now I'm remembering and channeling this book. What's your passion? Well, they don't fucking know what their passion is. They haven't done anything. They don't. They go, oh, I think I like swimming. How many hours have you spent swimming? Oh, 10. So that doesn't help them. That gives them anxiety. They leave the room going, oh, I don't know what my passion is. Their biggest advice was, one of the things was to talk to people who already got the job and ask them how they got it, and how did they get there, and what's it like being like, I dream of being a scuba diving instructor in Fiji. What's it like? And the guy says, it's fucking hot. I have to carry around tanks all the time, and I'm looking after stupid tourists who can barely swim. It's horrific. Right? But it's after hours, it's beautiful, right? But the job itself, it really sucks. It's right. Not, oh, really? I imagined it would be just all cocktails and fucking, diving through amazing things, right? At the end of this, after everything I've said to you, that will give you not close to a blueprint. You'll be able to look at that and say, oh, I don't see that. I'm a different part of this. I'm doing something different, but you'll be able to see their thought process. And then I'd encourage you to write an offer as quickly as possible. Scribble out, make your offer, make your value stack, and then share it with a few people. You can share it with me. Just type it up. Just scribble it out first, brainstorm it, and keep going. Is that irresistible? Is that irresistible? When I show that to a student, they're going to go, oh, that's fucking amazing. And until they do that, then you're just another counselor.
Okay.
And I don't work with just other counselors, by the way. I only work with rock stars.
Well, I have a lot of work to do. Thank you. I appreciate all the knowledge, and send me the replay because I'm going to rewatch that and take lots of notes.
So I will. The LinkedIn thing takes about half an hour to come back to me, and I'll just immediately I've got it. I'll send you a link. Do you feel like you've got something out of this?
Oh, I got lots out of it. have a good roadmap and have a good things to kind of a checkoff list to follow and develop myself and come up with a game plan, and but also be realistic in regards to, like you said, the ups and downs of the journey, right? The persistence, and but at the same time, a strategy in regards to how to really not only market myself but also get ready for the one-on-one conversations that I'll be having.
Yeah. Because I want you to get to those conversations tomorrow, Monday,
Mhm.
because that's how you close deals. Talk to customers, ask them what they want. Remember, find a way to give it to them. What do you need? What's important? What are you worried about? And develop your offer. Have a crack at developing your offer first, because you know this very well. But just keep doing it and refining it and refining it and adding it and changing it. I mean, the killer offer might be you do the course, and I'll also give you a year's worth of audio books. Sometimes it's a bonus that's not related to the thing, but the main but if it's a discount, schmiscount. Everyone's got it. That's just, they set the price at $5,000 so they could lower it to 2.5. Oh no, I've been saving that to say, well, I'll tell you what, if you agree right now, let's make it 2.5. Right now, 2.5, deposit 250, first one. Normally I'd say non-refundable, but money back guarantee. And you're risking 1 hour of your time or whatever it is. Limit it to 1 hour of your time or one thing. And that's worth it. Because they're like, don't think of those things as training calls, think of them as sales calls. You'll be showing and telling and educating and getting to know them, to know, like, and trust you. They're going to come and let you pitch to them for an hour and pay for the privilege. And you're going to give them massive value, but gets them to ready for the next step. And they're like, well, what happens next? Well, you've outlined the 6 steps to get there. And the next step is look at the model answers or something, this huge thing.
Okay.
What's your email address, Gonzalo?
It's GAV as in Victor, ILA, S as in Sam, U as in unicorn, P as in Paul, at yahoo.com.
GAVILAGUP at
yahoo.com.
Okay. Would it be crazy of me to ask you to give me a review of my service on Facebook and Google reviews?
Sure. How would like a video testimonial, or would you?
However you feel comfortable. I'd love a video testimonial.
Okay.
I'm going to invite you into my business secrets group. And yeah, just jump in there and give me a video testimonial. That'll be great. I'll send you an email with 3 things. Would it be crazy of me to ask you to do 3 things for me?
No, that's fine. We'll do that.
Video testimonial, Google review, and would it be a 5-star review, do you think?
Sure. Well, the Google review, how do I do that? I've never done that.
I'll send you do you have Gmail?
Yes.
So when you go, if you're logged into Gmail and you go to Google, I'll send you the link to go to the exact place.
Okay.
And then I'll send you the page to go to like and just make a post and say, just copy and paste your video testimonial. That'd be awesome. I'd be so grateful if you do that for me. Would you do that for me?
Yes. Andrew, what's the name of your company? That way I can make sure I mention it.
It's called Batch Business Coaching.
Okay.
BATCH. And you can refer to me as Batch. That's what people call me.
Okay.
And do you see what we just did then?
I saw it.
I did the DeWee thing on you.
Mhm.
I do it all the time. And I also use would it be crazy? Would it be crazy to ask you after an hour of me giving time to you? Of course not. I mean, I'm not putting the arm on you, but in the same way, after an hour with your students, oh, this was great. Would it be crazy of me to ask you? Word of mouth is really important. Give us a Google review. In fact, would you give us 3? Would you give us a video testimonial? And there's 3 things. I'll send you the exact formula. Would you do that, Mr. Student? Oh yeah, I'd love to. This has been great. All right. And then you'll get testimonials for a $2,500 product from a $250 customer, or a free thing like this. I didn't do this for the testimonial, by the way, but it's just part of my business model to make the call, because for the same reason Dewey said, if you don't ask, you don't get. And I'm proud of what I do. And I'm modeling for you what you can do in your business. I'd go out and go back to all the people that you worked with before and touch base with them and say, how's it going? Oh, it's going okay. It's going great. I've got a job and everything. Oh, really? Do you think anything I did for you back then was helpful? Oh, it was so helpful. Oh, yeah, thank goodness I filled the form in the way you said. Oh, well, I'm really glad to hear that. Hey, look, it's not really, I just think of this now. It's not really the reason for my call. I just wanted to check in with you, but I don't know, would it be crazy of me to ask you to give me a Google review? What's your email address? And all the people you've done for free, you can get testimonials.
Okay.
Oh, I don't feel comfortable with that. Oh, do you notice I said, would it be a 5-star review? So I locked that in before you even got to the page. And in the social proof of this interaction, it's pretty hard for you to say no.
Right.
Right. But you've now said yes. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
This is sales. It's talking to people. It's the state-of-the-art sales is showing, not telling. Showing, not telling. In the stories I've told you, in the examples I've modeled and all this kind of stuff, I pretended to be you and did all these examples, and all of that was showing, right? All of it. The stories, I didn't say, you wouldn't believe how many dollars I made for these 50 clients. Let me tell you about 12 case studies of success. I didn't do that at all. I stood in your thing, try to understand it. I did the sales process to you that you'll do to them. Where are you? What are you trying to do? What's your thing? What's your goal? How important is it to you? Okay, let me see how I can do this. And it's for you. It'll be showing, not telling. I am so good. I'm very good. I'm better than best. Doesn't get you any sales.
Okay.
Would you like to have a look at, you're not my customer yet, but I could show you, maybe I'll show you, page 7. Is the key thing of when you're talking about your interests on page 7, questions, usually question 6, I'm just making that up. People often say stupid things about their interests, and they don't think of how those interests might want to align with the school or not. Something, right? Showing, not telling.
Okay. Well, thank you, Andrew.
We've had
I know that you give me a lot of your time, and I really do appreciate it. And
my pleasure.
And it wouldn't be crazy of you to ask me all those 3 things. So send me that information, and I'll do it tomorrow for sure.
So I will say to you in closing, I really enjoyed talking to you. I love helping people. I also realized that this call is very unstructured. And as a consequence, some things are hard to follow. And that's because we're just having a chat, and I'm not running through a checklist. But what you've done for me is you've given me yet another example. I do this all the time in different businesses, but I've never coached someone trying to start a business like yours in the States. And so I've got another example. I'll get some great reviews from it, and I feel really great that I did it. And I'm here to tell you that you can jump in the group. There's all sorts of funny little tips. It's only 140 people inside it right now, but there's shortcuts and tips, and there's actually quite a few sales things in it, because that's a big part of business. And I'd love to nurture you in that group to launch your very successful business. And you can ask me anything you like in the group, anything at all.
I appreciate that. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is really build my network of resources and connection, and build relationships too, and expose myself to things that I don't know, and get better at it, right? But I do really appreciate your time, And I'll look forward to your email tomorrow. If I don't see it by my time, 1 o'clock tomorrow, I'll send you an email with my email, just in case.
Well, we'll see each other on the call, won't we?
Oh yeah, you're right, tomorrow at 5.
Lovely to meet you. I'll send you the video and the email, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thank you, Andrew. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
my
it.
friend. I love talking to you.
Thank you. You too.
All you need is inside you, man. You're gonna be great at this. You're gonna be so good at it. See ya.
Thank you. Thank you.